Hi, host Derek here, host Talking Famous People, and overly emotional female. This goes out to you and everybody else who's curious about it, but she's the one who reminded me about it, which is what happened with Chad, right? So, oh my gosh, Chad called me. It's true. He called me, and we had a great conversation. He wanted to know about argumentation stuff, or at least that was the explicit reason for the call. Uh, it was prompted by his, interestingly, I think, not feeling as though he had a good, well, feeling as though he were caught by surprise by the McDonald's is not unhealthy argument that I was making. Because as a health person or a trainer type person, he's long thought that McDonald's was unhealthy, and it's not that he's said at any point that he no longer thinks that, but I think he was struck by the fact that he didn't that the arguments that he wasn't thinking about some of the arguments right, maybe. I don't mean to put any words in his mouth. This is my recollection of his intended meaning from the conversation. Regardless, I don't mean to be talking a whole lot about what he said regarding that. That's kind of irrelevant because while we did talk about argumentation, and I do want to make a separate video in which I go over the four things I talked to him about with argumentation with everybody. I guess I should just do that right now, real quick. Anyway, the first thing is I talked about different types of claims: normative, prescriptive, predictive, descriptive. I talked about different frameworks, and I talked about two kinds of impacts: binary and sliding scale impacts. That thing links with the frameworks a lot. And then the other thing I talked about was impact calculus, probability, magnitude, and time frame. I think those are the four basics, the four foundational basics. And what I do want to spend more time talking about is the fact that Chad is somebody who has had a big positive impact on me, for sure. He's modeled for me behavior that I ought to display in certain circumstances. And like as he called, so we inevitably start talking about the video, the video stuff, like the video drama, which is me starting shit or just being Eric or whatever, I don't know. And how does he always approach it? Oh, I I felt as though there was something for me to learn from this. That's how he approached it. That's how he always approaches the stuff. If I mean, and what is he doing for me though? He's modeling again how I ought to behave more. Really, uh, he's great. I mean, it makes me feel really good about YouTube in general, about the YouTube community, about the fact that we're regular people and we're able to interact. And he's got his big community of MBTI stuff and MBTV and MBTI, more MBTI themed. My channel does it, but I don't feel directly competitive against him, even though to some extent I probably am. Doesn't matter really to me, and that's not the point. The thing is, the point of this video is I don't know. I'm getting emotional. That's how to effectively deal with people, right? He called me to ask me about my expertise, to help him with his thing. He's giving me the chance to help him. He understands the impact on me. That's important to me. Like Taylor gave me the chance to help him at some point. When I help people who are really super smart with stuff that matters to me, that matters to me a lot. Because people who I respect are respecting me enough to ask my advice about shit. And, I mean, in general, it's I respect most people, right? I respect almost everybody, at least at the minimum level of basic human respect. And then there are some people who I respect because I still feel somewhat aspirational towards something. I mean, I don't even know what it is, right? What am I aspirational towards exactly? Achievement of some kind, or you know, being the guy or something. That's what it means to be a 738 mover shaker. I want to be the guy. I told Chad on the phone as well. If unless Chad drags his feet, and I feel the need that I have to step in and do something, I probably won't run for president because I will support Chad's presidency instead, for sure. I want him to be president. He says he's planning on going into politics. I like his politics a lot. His politics are basically the same as mine. He's very sensible in a way that makes him a little bit less volatile than me. The thing is, I'm not sure the presidency needs as its main nature cleverness. My main nature is cleverness. It's what I am more than anything else. I'm clever. And cleverness is very clever. So it can do the things of a lot of other things. It can pretend it's this. It can act like that. It can do this. It can blah, blah, blah. It's clever. But what it's not is very outcome oriented. And a lot of things require a lot of follow through. That's why ENTP is like one big punch. We're big believers in one big punch. Okay, if this thing is a persistent problem after a while, it starts to wear on our durability, and we start to get worn down by attrition. Sorry. Then, okay, we gotta end this thing and come up with a big one. I don't want it to drag on. Starts getting boring, starts getting hard. So, it's good reason to prefer a Chad presidency. There are reasons to prefer a Strauss presidency too, in theory. I'd be perfectly happy with either one if I were a voter. As a one of the two people, I'll do the job if I feel it's the right thing for me to do. If I feel there's somebody else who can do the job, and I do feel that way about Chad, and I am even considering the possibility to probably do the job better, well then, I can be a little bit lazy. I don't mean to be unpatriotic or anything. I'm more of a vice president. Now, that doesn't mean I want to be Chad's vice president. I'm not saying I do, because I like the idea of vice presidency in the sense that, well, he's the vice president. On the other hand, while I'm not enthralled with all of the responsibilities of the primary decision maker, neither am I enthralled with the decorative function of the vice presidency. So, it's basically the vice president is kind of decorative, And I don't mind getting fat paychecks to be decorative, but you gotta stay over in Washington D.C. and I don't know. I don't even know what the vice president does. Secretary of ass kicking. I want Taylor in that position. If I turn out to be the president instead. We'll put Secretary of ass kicking on you. Hey, no. You better stop. Do you want a visit from the Secretary of ass kicking? He's going to make you think twice about whatever. Just by talking to you. Well, you see, you've got a syndrome. It's called wrongness. The Charles presidency would be an anti-wrongness presidency. I think the Chad Crandall presidency would be a pro-rightness presidency. You know, that's the difference. I like fucking up wrongness. He likes doing good stuff. I think after talking with Chad for a long time today, Taylor's been saying Jesus is an ENTP and the devil's an ENTP is what I say, you know. But you know, Chad's the one who's doing it perfectly, who's calling me to say how my making fun of him makes him think and learn things and stuff. Chad, come on. Can we fight a little bit? Let's just turn the other cheek. Fucking goddamn it. Works. Right? Turning the other cheek works. If you do it perfectly like Chad does it. And then I feel like an asswipe. Then I have to go, okay, well, whatever. I'm kind of tired. I kind of want to go to Denny's. But I really enjoyed my conversation with Chad on the phone. Thank you, Chad, for calling me. I appreciate it very much. And you got my support for Chad Crandall presidency. I told him something I will never tell, I don't think, another human being as long as I live. When you run for office, call me for campaign contribution. I'm not contributing to anybody's campaign unless your name is Chad Crandall, okay? So I'm not a campaign contributor. Just for the record. Thanks for watching Talking with Famous People.